And now it's time for another edition of What Would Jello Do? It gets weirder and weirder and weirder, doesn't it? It seems like they'd be trying to steal the election and shut down the post office in October, not in August. More on that in a little bit. But right now, I can't get it out of my head that Trump amok actually came right out and asked that idiot governor of South Dakota about getting his ugly mug on Mount Rushmore. Granted, this is the guy who demanded a monument of himself be put up in the D.C. Capitol Mall before he even took the oath of office. So I guess we shouldn't be surprised by this at all. Even if it's just a dream, just a joke. Trump doesn't joke. Nobody in that family has a sense of humor. So wait a minute. This is all wrong. If Trump really wants to be carved in stone somewhere, he belongs on Stone Mountain. And not just anywhere either. Right now you've got those three Confederate icons riding their horses, I guess through the clouds, because the horses kind of fade before you can see the belly of the horses, which is too bad because in order to put Trump on Stone Mountain the way he should be displayed, you either have to put a whole other horse up there behind, I guess it's Stonewall Jackson, or extend down the horses that are there. I mean, one you could have is a fourth one, namely Vladimir Putin, with, of course, with no shirt on, riding with the blushing bride Trump amok, waving side saddle in a little bridal gown. That would be one, but there's even better one. You extend the big central statue, which is Robert E. Lee, you extend that horse down more, just enough to have Trump's upside down head coming out of the horse's ass. Yeah, perfect. I mean, there's been other people like this too. There was Rafael Trujillo, who was the brutal dictator of the Dominican Republic from 1930 till he was assassinated with some CIA help in 1961. And the last I looked was in the Guinness Book of World Records for mass producing more statues of himself than any despot in history for that little island. Then there's the more recent case of, I guess it's Saparmurat Nisayov, who was the first dictator, well, even before the Soviet Union fell, he was the dictator of Turkmenistan. And then he takes over, and he changed his name to Turkmenbashi, and renamed all the months of the year, the days of the week, and a lot of the major streets, all after himself and different members of his family, with the excuse that, well, we're a new country, we need history. We are that history, I am that history, so it all starts with me. He didn't stop there. He blew a lion's share of the entire national budget for his impoverished country, putting up a giant gold-plated statue of himself on top of this huge base that looked more than a little like a giant butt plug. And then on top is this Hello Kitty-looking gold-plated Turkmenbashi that rotated according to the position of the sun. You can't make this stuff up. Not even Kim Jong-il or Un ever came up with that one. And it even looked kind of like you could take the Russian egg off and there's another one inside, another one inside. It was kind of in that style. And then he died. So then the next dictator, who has a 10-syllable first and last name I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce, took that down, and then on a great big giant marble-looking rock, put up an even bigger gold-plated statue of himself riding on a horse, not unlike the people on Stone Mountain. And Trump isn't even the first one they've threatened to add to Mount Rushmore. There was a movement even before he left office to put Reagan on Mount Rushmore. One right-wing congressman of the time was a Michigan guy. I think it was Guy Vanderjagt. There were two of them. We're kind of trying to outdo each other the way Louis Gohmert and Steve King and the others do now as to who was the biggest idiot in Congress. Anyway, one of them said, yeah, we put him right over here, and then there's a forest up there, and that could be his hair. And then they started making noises about doing that again when Clown Prince W and Dick Cheney were running the show. Anything to cement Reagan as a good guy to remember instead of one of the worst and most long-term damaging presidents in the history of this country and the world. Then I thought, okay, fine. It's stolen land anyway. Okay, Cheney, get your buddies at Halliburton, who just finished putting up Guantanamo Bay, to put up the statue of Bush and do such a bad job of it that all of Mount Rushmore collapses and they have to give it back to the natives. And so after that, no, even better. You try to put Trump amok up there. Yeah, Jared, make it so. Oh yeah, okay, Your Highness. I'll just get some of my bros from college like I did to try and fight COVID-19 and we'll do it. Go ahead, Jared, do it. Make it so. Jared goes to work, or rather does not go to work, and his pals with no experience in this do go to work, and of course, Mount Rushmore collapses. They have to give the land back. And finally, when they've cleared away all the rubble and debris, they find one head remains. Willie Nelson.